Hi everyone, Jill here. Welcome to Keto Living Over 50. So in this video, it's mainly going to be showing you a couple meals that I made myself that are keto friendly. Well, I made for my family for dinner, and a little side salad that is my favorite and I absolutely love it in the summertime. Now I did a little rendition of it because I didn't have eggplant. Normally I love to grill kind of thickly sliced eggplant and then cut it up and put it in place of, like, I used cucumber this time. Normally I don't do cucumber in that particular salad I'm going to be showing you, but it still ended up tasting really quite refreshing, really good. So yeah, I'm just not a lettuce, like a salad person. I hardly ever have salads, and I need to start having more. I'm terrible that way, I really am. I find that I have a hard time really incorporating vegetables in general and getting those micronutrients that are really important. So mostly I tend to eat broccoli. I was on a zucchini kick for a while and I had a lot of zucchini, and now I'm kind of a little burnt out, so I haven't really had zucchini in a little while. I'll do yellow squash sometimes, but mainly lately it has been broccoli, and that's okay. It's super easy. I can throw a bag and steam it in the microwave and then add it to whatever, or so it is really easy, and I haven't gotten tired of it yet. So that tends to be my go-to vegetable. I also wanted to let you know that finally got my Proform Elliptical machine. Got it down in the basement. I really don't think it would have been possible to have it up here. I don't think the two guys that delivered it would have been able to get it up the 4 or 5 stairs to our front door to get it up into the main level of the house. That thing was a beast. It was so heavy. And while it's nice that Proform, there's not a lot of, like, you don't have to put a whole lot together once you get your machine. It's basically assembled, other than adding, you know, the arms and some other, and the just other things. But the basic part of it is assembled, and it is heavier than, oh my Lord, that thing is a huge monster. So be aware of that if you start looking into this elliptical that I got. Now, I've only used it a couple times. I have to say it's been delightful. It is a hard workout. It's way harder than I thought it was going to be, just because I am very out of shape and my muscles are very weak. And so it's a lot of, you know, quadricep, glute. And once you get those muscles firing, it tires you out quite quickly. Your heart rate goes up very fast. So it's going to be challenging, but I'm really enjoying it. So I've only been on it yesterday and then this morning. I try to get on, I'm still gonna, you know, try to get on between 8 and 8:30 in the morning before I think of doing anything. All right, so let's go in the kitchen now. I'm gonna go ahead and get to the segment where I show you guys a couple meals that I went ahead and made last week.
I don't often feel like breakfast, but this day I did, and these are egg bites. They're really good. I tried them for the first time. Got them from Whole Foods, had some leftover kielbasa and a few blackberries. It was quite delightful. So now we're going to be making an extremely easy, kind of a cheater way to make chicken curry. I really felt like the flavor of this curry paste I'm going to show you here in a little bit. It's the best curry paste I have ever used, and it's the only one I will use. It is definitely the star of this dish. So I'm going to show you it right here. This is the curry paste. I actually can get it off Amazon. I used to get it at an Asian market that was near us where we used to live, so I'm glad I can get it off Amazon. Now I just added a whole little can there of coconut milk. Going to add 2 heaping tablespoons of the curry paste. This is to taste. This can get very, very spicy, so you're just going to have to figure out what you like. And then we're going to make sure that this is completely dissolved in this 1 can of coconut milk. And eventually I'm going to add a little more coconut milk. This particular coconut milk is kind of soupy. It's not as thick as the kind I usually get, but I felt more like a soup, so that's okay. Now here's the cheater part. We're going to add an entire organic bag of coleslaw mix, and we have a couple different types of cabbage in there, and there are some shredded carrot, but not much at all. So then we're just going to fold this into the milk. Now I forgot to mention that before you add your coconut milk in your paste, you're definitely going to want to cook your chicken to doneness. It has to be done. I season my chicken with salt, pepper, and garlic. I minced garlic a pretty good amount. that again is to taste. And so now I'm just folding in the rest of the coleslaw. And I'm going to let that cook, and I'm going to add a half a can of a second. I only needed about a half a can of the second canful there of coconut milk. And then I'm going to taste it because I want to see before, I call this done. I want to taste it and make sure it's spicy enough for me. I kind of don't want it over the top, but if it is, it's too late. You can put more, but you can't take it away. It ended up being perfect. And then salt and pepper again to taste. And it was really good. I like my cabbage to be a little crunchy still, kind of parboiled, if you will. I don't like it to be, really kind of overly cooked. Anyway, it ended up just being quite good. So this is a different night. I just made steak, so I pan fried these steaks here. Here's the seasoning that I got at Costco. It is a really nice blend. It has garlic and I think some onion flakes in there, along with some other herbs. I'm using Celtic sea salt. Kind of obsessed with Celtic sea salt lately. It's not supposed to raise your blood pressure. Not that I have a problem with that, but my husband does, so I have to watch that. So then I'm just going to do the salt and the pepper and then that garlic seasoning, and I do kind of press it into the steak. I'm using avocado oil here, a pretty generous amount. Not really happy with my skillet here, griddle, I don't know what they call this, because all the oil sort of goes to the outside. So I'm just kind of dredging the steaks in here and getting a good amount of oil under there. Season the other side the exact same way, and I do end up pressing this in as well. Of course, you're going to cook your steak to whatever doneness that you prefer. You're going to want a good sear, so you're going to want to kind of be a little patient. And so this is a new sort of way of cooking my steaks. I absolutely loved the way this tastes. This was an infused olive oil. I drizzled it over the top of the side that had already been cooked. And then once it was cooked to the doneness we liked, I went ahead and added a little bit more of that infused flavored oil. It was citrusy. It was a Mediterranean sort of herb blend. It was so good, you guys. All right, we're going to make that little side salad I had told you about earlier. These are fresh mozzarella medallions that are packed in water. These are organic little cherry tomatoes that are so sweet, really delicious. So I try to do equal parts. So equal parts of the cheese here. This is the fresh mozzarella with tomatoes. So I don't want kind of too many of either one of those things. So kind of equal parts, you kind of eyeball it. And then instead of the eggplant, because I do generally use eggplant, I grill it, salt and pepper, olive oil, it's delicious. I decided to put in some cucumber instead. It ended up being very refreshing. Just the amount of cucumber you saw me cut off is all I used. I didn't put too much cucumber. Now, the star of the show is fresh basil. I do make this sometimes if I don't have the fresh basil and just use the, dried, but nothing beats the fresh basil. Here we have some really delicious balsamic vinegar. Got that from Costco. And then the olive oil, your virgin olive oil, salt and pepper to taste. And then you're just going to want to kind of combine that. So then you're just going to want to cover it and stick it in the fridge. So those are the meals, a little peek into a couple of the meals I had last week. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.